as we get into it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. In the top right-hand side, our Red Terran player. He's already guaranteed first place in the group. What more can he do? Let's find out. It's Bjorn in the upper right-hand side. Bottom left, our blue Zerg is Kaizi Gaming Solar. As we get going into game one of this best of three, Solar must win to advance through this group. Man, it all started so well for Solar. 2-0 Trap. Trap was 0-2 in the group. It's fallen apart for him since then. A loss against Max Pax, a loss against Creator, and now you gotta beat Bjorn to advance on through. I mean, that is brutal. That is not easy. I just want to go back and give a couple shout-outs very quickly. K-Store TV come in with the Prime sub. Thank you so much. Anna Harat 70 on the 9-month resub. Splash Top 11 for the 6-month resub on the Prime. Some kind words. Thank you so much. And 44-month resub from Port ADSC. Thank you so much for the Prime resub as well. Welcome back. Thank you so much, guys, as we go into game one. Okay, so we kick this off. We get this going. Readying this one up. Excited to see what we're going to get here. As we have our SCV coming out and is going to build a depot there. So depot will go down. Reactor building on the barracks as we get everything ready to go. Now, Bjorn's already opening with a factory, so that's already kind of unlike Bjorn. You know, I'm just so used to Bjorn going 2 racks and, you know, being so bio-aggressive right from the get-go. As that Overlord moves up the right, and we'll get in position to scout a little bit here from Solar. Bjorn is still going to go double gas. It is Pillars of Gold. You know, I would say my bets right from the start, if I had to make a guess at what Bjorn wants to do here, it's probably something Hellbat related. He's a big fan of Hellbat builds, actually. It's one of the things I've noticed. If Bjorn doesn't go aggressive with Bio, he really goes aggressive with Hellbats a lot of the time. And Pillars of Gold is a pretty commonly used map for Hellbats as well. It's a shorter map. The ramp up into the natural is pretty nice too. You can really get very choked up here and create that position for yourself. And it's quite easy to get in position to move up this ramp with the Hellbats as well. So I think we see Hellbats on this map a lot for that kind of reason. And again, Bjorn, to me, is kind of a very typical Hellbat player sometimes. So we'll see what he goes for. He's still producing Marines. He does stop now as he starts the medevac, but is he going to go one more? Yeah, I mean, everything about this screams Hellbat. So as the armory as well, just in case you still didn't want to believe me. And this is going to be Hellbats for the first attack of the game. Now, this is where Solar Scouting is going to become very important. You need the information here on what is happening to prepare accordingly. So Hellions still setting up on the natural. The rest of the Marines will jump into the medevac here. I'm just going to be starting to head down the bottom left. Big scout from this Zergling sees the medevac. That's the first point of this that Solar's going to get to see. This is such a fast Hellbat attack as well. It's going to hit around 425 or so. These Hellions moving across. They do slow down a little bit to kill off 1 and 2 Zerglings. It's going to hit a little bit later than 425, about 430. That's still pretty good timing. Preparation from Solar. He only just really figured this out with the Hellions being seen. So he starts up a Spine Crawler. Hellbats will start to morph in. And he just doesn't have any Lings on the map, though. So it's just the Queens. So he's going to start backing away. If he loses a Queen already, that's big. None of the Queens have Transfusion yet. So that's actually a big deal as well. Getting very greedy with a bunch of Creep Chimists. I mean, I guess just a couple, really. Gets up this ramp. The Spine Crawler got killed already. So Bjorn gets off to a fantastic start. Now making his way into this natural even further. Every Queen you kill off here is just going to get more done. He is going to go into a Raven behind it too. So looking for some Auto Turret harass. And maybe even some further creep clearing as he still does have Hellion production underway. So more Hellions on the way out. And Command Center building from Bjorn in the front, as we do have a lair already coming up in the main base. Spore Crawlers on the way. And a couple of Extractors on the way out on the natural expansion too, as our Zergling moving up to the top. And the Raven of Bjorn moving out down the bottom. So here you go. For the moment, just auto turret harass, but again, you can even then use this Raven just for the tech detection on creep, as you will get 1-2 drones pretty quickly here. So the first couple of drones going down right from the start. Just going to be seen now. Spore Crawler is going to try and relocate out down to the bottom. So a couple drones taking a bit of damage. And a few Hellions are going to start making their way out down through the bottom side as well. So you're going to see the couple of barracks coming through in the engineering base on the natural expansion in a moment or so. As well, the Hellions still going to go out around the right-hand side. +1 attack coming through. Stimpack is on the way. And the Hellion's going to go down the bottom and just going to go in for a little bit of damage here. Solar has gotten the drone count up to a good number, 58 to 48. One thing he's done good is not losing out on drones, if anything, but even then, Bjorn is kind of in a position where his third CC is ready to move. He's only 8 workers behind. I'm going to go 5 racks already, 1-1 coming through. And Solar is prioritizing the Spire, so looking to move straight into Mutalisk production right now. Hellions coming through. The creep is going to be picked off, and a couple more creep teamers down the bottom. Hellions are going to back away. Not even back in the main base. 2 more auto turrets, and that's going to get another couple of drones. Sorry, not 2 more auto turrets, but another auto turret for 2 or 3 more drones. And now going to morph in Hellions into Hellbats to try and cancel this 4th face off. So again, the gun pressure just continues. And he's actually going to get this cancel, and again, just slowing Solar down in every way possible. I really feel like the first push of Bjorn with 1-1 is going to be the scary point, right? It's going to come before any upgrades of Solar. No way he's going to get it again. This time it's a kill as well. 300 minerals just fall apart. Wow, that's disastrous, actually. Did he actually get the drone there, too? I think he did. A new drone has to move over. And this Raven has racked up 9 kills in total. Really fantastic stuff out of Bjorn. Resources lost 2.8 to 1.2k. In a game where Bjorn has kept up economically, you know, these are leads from Solar, yes, but 600 minerals at, per minute at best. Yeah, and then you've considered that Bjorn's going to have a great army behind this. He's got Marine Tank with upgrade advantage. Again, I hate to be pessimistic, but I really don't see what you do right now as Solar. You've just invested into mutas. They do not help you defend this attack. The Banelings do. And there are how many Banelings on the map? About to be 8. Yeah, right. So I don't even know where the other 6 are. They are morphing in the main base. So there's about to be 8 Banes here. I guess you're going to go up to 14, but you've got 2 tanks. You've got Hellbats that are going to soak some Baneling shots as well. Everything about this right now screams out for Bjorn. As we do have our 2-2 upgrades on the way and the engineering base in the back of the natural. And a Marine Tank Medevac force reinforcing as well, so Bjorn not just going to rush into this, just going to take it slow. Now, it might be Solar that wants to rush into this. I know it's off creep, but if this position gets reinforced, it's only going to become more difficult to dislodge. Man, Bjorn's on his way to 2-2 upgrades, while Solar has +1 carapace halfway done. Here we go. Now we're going to move on forward here, but there's 3 siege tanks. Banes have to roll in off creep, and Solar barely even lets the army die before he types out GG. He knew that was not going to be pretty. The Hellbat attack early got a little bit too much done, got him into too good of a spot. Gee, action as we start off in the top left-hand side. Give it up if you're cheering on the red Terran player. This is Bjorn, and he is up 1-0. Up against our blue Zerg, bottom right from KaiZ Gaming. This is Solar. You know, these guys, they put themselves in this group of death. They said, hey, I don't want to play until Super Tournament is done. And they did that knowing that most players would likely ask for that. And obviously, if they're asking to not play until Super Tournament is done, they're probably the better players as well, because they're in the Super Tournament. So they kind of asked to end up in this kind of difficult group, and so far it's worked out wonders for Bjorn. He's guaranteed first place, 4 Terrans in first place on all 4 groups. For Solar, he is a map away from being eliminated. All he needs, doesn't matter if he's lost the first map, if he wins the series, he goes through the group. So he has 2 maps in a row that he now must win to stay alive. Must win. Command center on the natural expansion. CC first from Bjorn. A way he likes to switch it up a lot, and then you go 2 racks behind it, and you can end up going for The CC first 2-on-1 gives you some extra Marines. He will actually go Rax Gas, so maybe not. Maybe we'll go into a factory. As hey, Warpgate X, thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Welcome back. Appreciate you guys using your Prime on the stream today, guys. It is going to be 2 Rax, by the way, so yeah, you can go Rax Gas. It's going to go Rax Gas again, unless he goes 3CC or something really greedy. That would be insanely greedy, though, so we'll see if he really wants to push his luck in that regard. Yeah, Bjorn really brought a lot of these builds back with him. When he came back from the military, he was like, right, how many different ways can I open with Barracks and TVZ? And, you know, he's doing Command Center first openings that we hadn't seen in, you know, a very long time. And obviously every now and then you see a CC first, but do you see a CC first regularly? No. And Bjorn does it regularly. That's the difference, you know? Orbital Command is morphing on the natural. Let's just see our Tech Lab coming up on this second Rax as well. It's going to be seeing our CC continuing through, and again, so far, so good. So it is just going to be that mega greedy 3CC off the CC first. And obviously you'll get Stim alongside this as well, so a lot of economy from Bjorn in the early stages of this game. He knows exactly where he's headed to. Stim pack building already. The few Marines coming out. SCV still in production. Zergling speed coming through from Solar as a few drones are mining away on the gas as well. And you know, just going to be having our next queen on the natural coming up too. Third hatchery is already building. Again, Stim is about halfway along at the moment. Just going to be seeing our Overlord out on the left-hand side as well. Again, our Command Center finishing up in a few moments' time. A lot of build-up right now. The Marine's going to turn that Ling around. Ling gets pushed back out through the right-hand side. Well, obviously this turns into a fairly passive situation. We just kind of sit and wait for the build-up. That happens a lot with 3CC builds. Solar. He doesn't really have any info, though. He sees the Marine count, and that's kind of about it. You know, I like Bjorn moving Marines out right now, because it scares Solar into thinking that right now is the kind of 2-1-1 time. I mean, look, he's making Lings, a Bane Nest. He's preparing as though this is going to be the 2-1-1. He has no idea about the third. And because the Marines move out, it completely sells the idea of, okay, this is the CC first, an early move out. And then the medevacs are going to join up very soon. Not the case at all, because the medevacs aren't even in production yet, because the starport's not done, because this was 3CC. So Solar is preparing for an attack a minute earlier than it's actually going to arrive. All because Bjorn is moving out kind of at the usual time. You know, it's such a simple thing, but it's a bit risky, but it's working wonders right now. And now Bjorn's just going to back away, and Solar is drawing, right? He made the units he needed to make to survive here. He's going to cancel the spawn the natural. I think he realized he maybe didn't need it. And he'll take extra gas as he gets up to the lair. Looks like he maybe wants to play Lingbane Muta once again here. Got that Spire going once this lair finishes up. Still have a few queens just hanging around on the front lines. A single Ling of Solar going to come up the left-hand side of this and try to make its way around. 3 more barracks in production. So 3 more racks in the main base. The couple of SCVs being nibbled here as well. Across the map we go. Medevac starts to boost forward. A few queens is going to come forward as well. And again, just a couple creep teamers for now. Couple creep teamers going down. Our medevac's boosting down the right side. Marines going to scan. And we'll deny a little bit of creep already. Queens want to continue moving forward here. Lings and Banes thinking about coming forward too. And finally going on the map and putting some pressure out Obviously, Solar has been able to establish a good amount of creep spread until now. If Bjorn can keep the creep back on this right side, though, it keeps this base open to attack, and that would be wonderful. And I love what he does here. It's a very neat move from here to just drop down into the main, right? And he's forced Solar to kind of sit on that right side defensively. That's where the Marines have been, and this is just a cute little move. It's going to be, you know, until the Banes get here, undefendable. And he's just going to trade out some Lings before he loads up those Marines. Loses nothing in a trade out for 5-10 Lings, 2 drones, and an Extractor as well. So he denies gas mining. Gets a couple of Banes targeted there. Some of the Marines fall low, and he actually is a little bit slow to lift up on the left-hand side, but he's simming forward on the right as Bjorn gets into his spectacular drop play. 2 Queens killed off. I mean, the multitasking right now is just too much from Solar. Simple as that. 1-1 powering him through this as well as he drops to the high ground. Queens are going to get a medevac kill here, no doubt about it. The other medevac might go down as well, so it looks like these Marines are stranded in the main. He actually tries to save. It doesn't happen. Okay, well, this started very well for Bjorn, but Solar getting the cleanup is so critical. The cleanup from Solar does so much for him now, really helping him to stay in this game. As we have got 2 medevacs making their way around the right side, down to the south, and away they go as Zerglings will set up as well. Widowmine burrows up on the ramp. A few Marines still joining up together. Gonna have our Marines unloading as our Mutalisks come back in once again. The medevac's gonna fly into the main base once more. I mean, this is not great for Bjorn, don't get me wrong, right? He's getting medevac's caught, but he actually does kill off the Mutalisk already. These Widowmines should at least be able to burrow. Can you shut them down? You can. Okay, this was not so good for Bjorn. This started out better. He does target another Muta down. He kills 2 Mutas. I mean, that doesn't really justify the double drop, though. That one was just a little bit too much after Bjorn had such a good drop previously. This, it got shut down, and then this next attack got shut down as well. So, as mentioned, everything is starting to kind of err on the side of faltering a little bit now. Kind of a little bit messy as you just see our Marines, medevacs, and the Widowmines are continuing to build up here. Marines are going to stem as the Lings run forward. Widowmines burrow up, and just going to be seen. Oh, Widowmine connects in for a few of these Marines. Another Widowmine connects for a few more Lings as well. Two upgrades on the engineering base. Medevac's going to go back into the main base. Hive is on the way up in the main. And just going to be seeing Bjorn starting to make a move out over to the right-hand side of the map. So away we go. Banelings on the left. They're going to rally forward in toward this front line. We're just going to go for the main. At least that's what they're thinking. Couple turrets there are good. As Marines and Marauders move on through, a lot of creep team is just being picked apart, and it's the same position that Bjorn's been working on all game long. And he gets down into it once more as Danes really do just bust the depots, and Bjorn will just replace them. Kind of as simple as that, quite frankly, as Raiders will not do much more to kind of show up and help. Obviously, with Thor production underway here from Bjorn, he's going to be able to add those on and really help to push those mutas back and keep them at bay. So that seems to be the plan for the moment. These Widowmines, not really burrowing up or anything just yet, right? Is just going to be seeing a couple of Marauders coming through. Thor, Marines, all of these showing up as well. A lot of the Lings continuing to run on down with the Banes chasing these Marines away as well. Widowmines, though, wonderful connections, going to allow the Marines to sit here and survive. Now the Thor gets saved by the medevac. Widowmine lines up and hits a good amount of Lings dead center. Target fires the 2 Banelings, and it's going to keep this army going. Thor decimates the Mutas. And I mean, everything from Bjorn goes down, but that fight should have been a disaster for Bjorn. Should have been horrible. And it was actually, it was so good from what it should have been. I mean, that's just what Micro can do for you. That's just Bjorn things, right? Bjorn is going to get cleaned up down here as well. Don't get me wrong, Solar is still playing this game and playing it well, but I just feel like Bjorn creates opportunities out of nothing. Like, what in what world should Bjorn have had any sort of damage dealt in that last fight? No, of course not. I'm not in the slightest. You're absolutely kidding me. If you think Bjorn should have been able to get damage done there. Marines are going to push the Mutas away once more. Now going to turn back around, going to jump in on this set of rocks as well. It's just going to take this down. Open this pathway up a little bit down through the center. A couple of changelings are going to get popped off. Still moving down to the south side. We've got Lings continuing to come across over to the right. Solar is going to run through. I like the fights, leading with just a couple of Banes, leading with a couple of Lings, but it's so difficult to make it work against this set of split-up mines. Solar does get through, and he is going to take down Thor, and the rest of this as well. Oh, pumps back up a little bit. Nice split in the end. He is going to clean everything up once more. It's a win that you're kind of looking for, but Bjorn gets a 5th base up during this all. And that's one of the big issues, right, is that Bjorn's economy is not really being halted in any way, shape, or form. Bjorn's economy is just continuing to look better and better as time passes here, basically. Looking really good. Medivacs to the far left, a command center up right. As the Marauders make their way down to the bottom. A couple of Kuchimas going to be picked away at again, just opening this position. And this is going to be seen as Zerglings running through. The Medivac's going to load in the bottom as well. I mean, again, just what is going on? It's just going to be Bjorn everywhere on the map. He's in the main, he's on the left, he's on the bottom left. This hatchery looking like it's going to go down. Solar just splitting everywhere, but the problem is you've got Lings running into unfavorable fights. I guess the upgrades have just about evened out. The extra armor upgrade finishing definitely helps. Bjorn is cleaned up in the bottom left-hand side, but he cleans out the left side base. I think that's big. Just keeping Solar to 5 bases, nothing more at the moment. And in the process, you've killed 11 drones. Finally, this drop is cleaned out, and there's still a Widow Mine left that you might not have noticed as Solar, so it's very possible this Widow Mine goes off and gets a decent connection into the mineral line once more. Now, of course, Ultras are out, and Ultras should make some of these larger army fights a little bit better for Solar than they have been. Let's see, as he's just going to go running up this ramp. No, not like this, right? I mean, you got to go in from multiple angles and all sorts. Even just catching units on the low ground isn't great because everything's getting choked up on it. And so Bjorn is just firing from the high ground, putting a ton of damage out. Banes are down in the front lines. Now there are more Banes arriving as Bjorn has to go running back into his natural. He's going to lift up and go to the main base. Taking a few moments to recoup his forces here. Bjorn definitely needs a bit of a chance. This Widow Mine's still looking to fire once more. Let's see if we can catch that, but maybe not because the Ultras are moving through. So let's watch this fight. 3 drones from that Widow Mine shot as we do see the Ultras connected on in the Banes here as well. I mean, Bjorn's starting to lose SCVs. Supplies that even if Bjorn can get... if Bjorn loses control of his production, that is where Solar can win this game. Taking the production out absolutely raises a huge opportunity here. As we're just going to be seeing the Widow Mines moving through. Marine still stimming across. Mutas having to back away from this. Bioforce continuing to hold, right? I mean, Solar has not broken the mineral line or the production line. A couple of Banes there, but the Widow Mines are set up as well, and now Solar just going to have to give Bjorn a little bit more space once again. Has to back away from this upper position. Has to give Bjorn room. And Bjorn is actually, during all of this, got a command center landing on the right-hand side. He still maintains the 5 bases as well, and maybe that's what Solar could have done instead. Instead of trying to push up into here, pulled a few more units back and try to take down some of these bases, and just really deny some of the economy, and maybe that would have been a better hit. Of course, it's hard to judge in games like this. They've been kind of, you know, being very hectic, being very crazy. As our Mutas run through, Widow Mine's going to fire, hits a group of Mutas. Bane, Muta, Ultra, all continuing around. Do you see our bio splitting up just a little bit? 12 more Banelings on the way out from Solar, so really cranking out those numbers here. I was just going to be seeing our army continuing through, so the bio still moving down to the bottom right side. It's a big push down. That's going to be seeing these few lings are dropping. Widowmine is going to fire. A couple of Banes going down as well. Bane's going to start crashing in. The Ultra's leading the charge through. The Muta's on top of the Medivacs, but man, okay, there is some extra Banelings still on the ground, but is it enough? No, it is not enough. And that is going to be it, my friends, as Beyond is going to take it 2-0 over Solar and will win this one out.